Hey
Yeah.
everyone, my name is Alexa from Ethereus mobile development company where we focus on building high quality mobile apps for our clients. My guest today is my friend Cenk, who has been working for some time now in Emirates MED managing mobile teams there. So first of all, Cenk, thank you very much for your time to attend this podcast with us. Can you share a little bit of introduction from your side, and then we will spark the discussion about how it is to lead engineering teams.
First of all, thanks, Alexa, inviting me to this podcast. I'm not doing very much podcast, so it's nice to do it with you. So let me shortly introduce myself. My name is Cenk. I know it is with C, but in Turkish we call it C.
Yeah.
I am from Istanbul, from Turkey. Last 8 years, I have been living in Dubai, and also I have been working in the same company, which is Emirates NBD. Emirates
Mm-hmm.
NBD is the biggest bank in the UAE region.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, I'm managing there the engineering teams. So we do different products, mobile and website.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I have also a couple of hobbies in the technology. I built my own community. We have a mobile guild community in the UAE. We started last year and it's going very well. I think we will also speak about that. So I have also some couple of hobbies we can discuss later. So basically, I think today we will speak about how to manage big engineering teams. What is the transition looks like from being engineer to the manager? So let's start.
Yeah,
That's
thank
me.
you very much for the short introduction. So let's start from there. When we discussed previously, you mentioned that this transition from being an engineer to being an engineering manager came kind of natural to you. So can you maybe share more about that?
Yes, sure. So basically, I'm not a traditional engineer because uh, half of my career almost spent in the product and technical product. I
Mhm.
was very much interested in data. I work as a revenue manager in the e-commerce and the betting companies also. So
Mhm.
for me, the transition was more smooth and easy, to be honest, especially in the beginning. Uh, but later on, the more responsibilities you are taking, the more strict delivery rules. Of course, I face challenges. I still face challenges. But I think before any engineer who moves to leadership position, the first thing engineers, I think, should ask to themselves is what the person, engineer, is expecting from the life. If
Mhm.
coding makes you happy, regardless of your age, and if you don't want to deal with anyone, any project, any timeline, any delivery issues, you can stay and you can be very successful engineer in that position. But if you love communication, if you love managing the people, if you think that you have a potential of being leader, then this could be good opportunity for you. So basically, the answer is playing with your character, with your ambition, what an engineer or what a person really expect from the life. So for me, uh, as I said, I was already doing multiple things at the same work. Half of my career is I work in the startup. So for me, transition, I didn't even notice the transition because I was never like just a coder. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love that part, like what you mentioned that not every engineer should essentially grow into an engineering leader or maybe lead teams if you really enjoy like coding, if you really have a feel that that's what it's meant for you and that works for you,
Yes.
that is perfectly fine. And yeah, I have a feeling that a lot of people like want to follow that trajectory path at every cost, even though they just genuinely love coding and they don't want to stick with it. So yeah, that's a wonderful perspective. And of course, with an engineering leadership, there comes a lot of challenges. There comes a lot of difficult discussions. A lot of times you have to explain why the project is not meeting the deadlines. A lot of times you need to communicate that with your team. You need to kind of encourage them to push forward. So can you maybe share what are those biggest communication challenges which you had over the past years?
Yeah. So I will answer that, but before that, I want to tell you something.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyone who wants to be a leader, who wants to manage the engineers, please don't think that you are becoming a leader or manager, not because of you are excellent at coding, you're excellent at problem solving from technical perspective. Sometimes you might not be the best technical person in the room,
Yeah.
but uh, I am trying to be leader whom I was expecting from my
Mm-hmm.
previous managers. So for me, a leader, a manager, what kind of manager I was expecting for many years. So
Mm-hmm.
when a manager leader comes into the room, his eyes should shine,
Yeah.
should shine. So you should be very excited to feel the manager. Okay, it's not
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, guys, just do the work, finish the work, don't go home, don't sleep. No, it's not. It's not like that. Maybe I might not be the best technical guy, but I
Mm-hmm.
should bring the passion to the room. I should bring to the excitement to the people, so that
Yeah.
people will improve themselves, people will focus themselves. So I think that's the correct for. I'm not saying I'm still that kind of leader. I'm just trying to be. So this is the uh, most important thing for me. And for your question, what was the challenge? The challenge is one of the maybe mistake, my expectation. You need to understand what is your expectation, what is the reality. But this
Mm-hmm.
is the valid thing in the life, even our relation with our partner, with our family, with our friends, right? If you expect too differently rather than the reality, at the end you will be not happy. You will be the one who is not happy. Sometimes because I'm perfectionist person. If you
Mm-hmm.
are very much perfectionist, and then you will be disappointed. So in order not to be disappointed, you need to understand reality. If your
Mm-hmm.
engineering team capability is this, maybe it's good to push them a little bit. But if you
Mm-hmm.
expect too much, which is maybe never gonna happen, at the end it will be not a happy story. So that would be the important topic for me. You need to understand who are you, who is your team, and what you want to achieve. They need to match. Yeah, that is
Oh.
the challenge, especially in the beginning I faced. I was expecting like, okay, everybody will be very smart. I will say one word and everybody will understand and they will leave the room and they will bring the job. But no, it never happened. You need to walk with them. You need to explain what we expect. You need to write. This is very important. Verbal communication mostly disappears on there. You need to clearly write everything to the team.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yes, this was the one of the big challenge I can say.
Yeah, nice. So first of all, I would love to touch the first thing which you said, that being a good engineer doesn't necessarily mean that being a good engineering leader doesn't necessarily mean that you're the best engineer in the room, and that is really really wonderfully put. So as you mentioned, being an engineering leader comes with a set of responsibility, a set of qualities which you need to have, which are not particularly related to coding and to engineering only. It helps a lot if you're a good engineer, and you need to be, but you don't need to be the best engineer in the room to be an engineering leader. So that's wonderfully put. And your other qualities kind of bring you to that place. And I also notice with myself as well, and something that I need to try, when you walk into the room and you need to have a difficult conversation, you still need to bring up that energy. You need to find a way how to communicate, so everybody leaves the room with some expectations or with some results, etc. So clearly communicating and finding a way how to communicate properly with everyone, because at least per my experience, you communicate differently with different kind of persons, so you need to figure out what kind of communication would work for that particular person. So that's definitely something we agree on.
True.
So yeah, coming up to the topic which we love to discuss about is like the engineering mindsets and the difference between Europe and the difference between UAE. So what are the expectations which you have when you're interviewing someone for a position, for example, in your company, in other companies in UAE?
In my mindset, many people can do a lot of jobs. You don't have to be perfect. I'm never looking for a perfect engineer because
Mhm.
I know that I'm not in the Google. So, however, of course, you need to have some certain engineering. mindset, skills. Um, but before that, the most important thing for me is the personality. Okay,
Definitely.
so the personality, what I expect is, regardless of your age, are you okay to read more? Are you okay to improve more? Or you are feeling like, okay, I am in an age that I don't need to read anymore. I am done. I faced a lot of people, even some of my close friends, the people that I know, they are all saying that, okay, I don't want to read anything. I am so tired. I just want to move somewhere, grow the tomatoes, just watch them.
Yeah.
But this is not my mindset. If you do, especially engineering, uh, which I think a lot of jobs requires these skills, this passion, you need to be okay with improving yourself, to follow the recent traditions, recent developments. You need to read books, articles. So I need to see that passion. Okay, you can be very young, you can be age of 25, but you don't need to be expert at everything. But if I see the passion potential of, okay, this guy knows little from multiple things, okay, you are a good strong candidate for me. But if you are, let's say, age of 35 and 40, let's say, and you don't know you have no idea what's going on last 2 3 years uh, in the world. Let's say if you speak about AI, uh, you don't know what is agent skill MCP, then I mean, you wouldn't probably have a potential strong.
Yeah.
It's not a skill; it's about the mindset. Because once you have a passion, you can learn. Let's say you are good at 5 things, you can learn the 6 things, right? You don't need to be like amazing engineer at everything. So that's the first thing that I do: personality and mindset. Technical
Okay.
thing is very important, of course,
Okay.
it is very very important. But I take care of, I mean, I focus about technical skills based on your experience. If you are, let's say, because some people say, okay, I'm 10 years experience, 15 years experience, 20 years experience. To be honest, I don't, or I have a lot of certificates. I don't care it a lot.
Yeah.
For me, what's important is, okay, what did you learn in these 10 years? What did we apply in these 10 years? I don't want to go in technical details. I don't want us to have boring podcast, but uh, if you have 10 years experience in the digital products, I expect a lot. You know what I mean. But
Yeah.
if you have a few years experience and if you know little from multiple things, which is fine. That is
Yeah.
my expectation.
It's fine if
Uh,
you have the mindset and the personality, right?
yes, but
That is the most important.
based on your career duration, if you
Okay.
have a 15 years of experience and if you are only passionate but doesn't know anything, of course,
Yeah.
it's not matching. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to go together. So really, from my perspective as well, I would say I really agree on that. And we've had personally in Ethereum when were hiring people, we made a lot of mistakes in the past, like hiring somebody who's just technically the best one, not thinking a lot about the personality, about the motivation, about the team fit. Also, really important for me is what engineering culture do we have, and would that person fit into our engineering culture? And our engineering culture is something like you shared, so we try to constantly follow up with the latest trends, constantly learn, improve. And when somebody who doesn't fit that joins the team, it kind of pretty soon you start noticing, and then only after 1 or 2 months you already feel that kind of that person is like behind all of the other people. So
True.
definitely true. And if somebody has the motivation, and like we are in the space, as you said, where we're constantly learning. You go 1 week without reading the news about the AI, you're already behind and missing
Mhm, mhm,
out things. So definitely, like I have a feeling that willingness to learn constantly is something in every profession will take you far. So fun fact, my father is in medicine. He's 65, and I still see him like reading some medical books. So you constantly need to improve in order to
mhm,
achieve some results.
mhm.
So nice. You mentioned that you're also leading a mobile guild, which I'm a big fan of, and I really like seeing people organizing meetups in the mobile community. So whoever's listening this in UAE and probably doesn't know or maybe knows about mobile guild but didn't attend, so I encourage you to attend. I'll definitely be there also in the later this year. So we'll potentially meet there.
Mhm.
Based on your mobile guild events, people you're meeting in the mobile engineering side of things. So what can you share about the sentiment of the mobile engineering in the UAE? So is focus still on building native apps? Is the focus still on Flutter or maybe some React Native? I don't know. So what is the sentiment which you're feeling also across the UAE companies? What are they leaning more towards to when it comes to the technology itself?
Good. Before that, maybe let me shortly explain what is mobile guild,
Sure.
how we establish, and where we are standing right now. So I have been living in Dubai, as I said, since 2019, before the pandemic. And then
Mhm.
after 6 months, pandemic started. Everybody was panicked. We don't know if the job is secure, if the life is secure. You know, it's pandemic, right? There was a website. Everybody, you were
Yeah.
checking daily basis what's happening, which is even
Yeah.
scary. And then recently the war happened. Between many things happened. So uh, during this time, I was always keep asking myself. I became, I arrived to age and experience. Maybe I should bring people together, because I
Mhm.
never seen a community where it's not only engineers comes together, but also leaders comes together,
Mhm.
executives, leaders, senior managers, product leaders, to comes together and to discuss about digital product. So I start looking for how many people I can gather. I start with very minimum, very small WhatsApp group and then LinkedIn group. I remember there was only 5 members, which is only my friends. And the last beginning of 25, I started taking it more seriously. I did small gather up, and
Mhm.
end of 25, which is December, we did very big event, which was our first event. And then now we are in July. So far in 7 months, we successfully completed 6 big events. And how I built event, I explained. But what I wanted to make it. So personally, I joined a lot of events. Uh, I was missing something. So I believe the stories in the life is very important.
Mhm.
For example, for yourself, for myself, if we don't have a story, if you go to the anyone, if you speak about something, it will be very boring, right?
Yeah.
If you have more stories, more people will listen to you. Because once you have more stories in the life, it is it will take more attention. People will willing to listen to you. So I was always feeling like the story in the life is very important. And why I'm talking about story, because most of the events that I join, usually I feel very much bored. Okay, I didn't learn anything new. It's mostly networking. I
Mhm.
mean, not learning is fine. Okay, it's because going to events, giving focus is not easy. It's not a school, first of all. Mostly people go to for the networking. However, you want to feels like something new, something exciting, right? So what I decided, okay, I will not do presentations. I hate long, boring presentations with no
Mhm.
proper user interface or video. I said, let's bring some stories. Let's hear real life stories, real life product stories, real life implementation use case. And then our events is around 3 hours, almost 2 hours, 2.5. We let people to know each other. We don't interact. We just tell them, shuffle guys, hear from each other, ask questions, understand what other companies are doing, product design, engineering. So that is what we are making. So in our last event, now almost 300 people registered.
Wow.
Due to, yeah, I was also wowed and surprised. I was not expecting, because this is just after the war. Maybe summer is very dead season for UAE. So I was expecting to see 100, 120 people. Due to venue capacity, we could only allow 160 people. A lot of people arrived, almost 120. So we did very nice events. Yeah, there was 4 speakers. Uh, so coming to your question, yes, we discussed this. We asked people what you choose. Is it Flutter? Is it React Native? Is it KMP? Is it native iOS, Swift, or Kotlin? The answer is everything. So there is, because now we have 550 members from 220 different companies. So it's very homogeneous structure. We ask the people, what is your technology that you use? I didn't do the survey, to be honest, but I feel I received a lot of response. So I can say multiple things are happening. Small companies more tend to use, I can say, cross technologies. A close of my friend who is head of mobile in Abu Dhabi company, they are using very actively the KMP. I know
nice.
some small enterprise financial companies using KMP last 2 years. I know big banks using React Native. I know big banks using native iOS, Android. So there is different technologies.
Yeah, there is a lot of factors. Yeah,
Yeah, but
definitely.
good question. We can do survey actually
Yeah, we
in the
should.
future.
We
Yeah,
should. And first of all, I want to take a moment to congratulate you again on Mobile Guild and what you're making. And I really can't wait to join you there in
thank
person
you.
and meet all of these people. So yeah, really looking forward to it. And in terms of the technology, yeah, it depends on a really big number of factors. So yeah, I just wanted to see if there is maybe some kind of strong preference or something like that, but it definitely makes a lot of sense. And I further want to discuss maybe scaling mobile teams. There are companies who start with one or two iOS engineers, who then or scale up to 10 iOS engineers. So what is the good way to scale in terms of how to make sure that all of the team is aligned, that all of the team is like up to date with all of the not only the technologies but the product that you're building, etc., etc. Is it just like some knowledge sharing sessions which you would suggest teams to have on monthly basis? So what do you think is the best way to approach this scenario where you grow a team for, I don't know, 10 people to 50 people on the mobile side of things?
Good question. So of course there is no one answer. Um, from my side, how we started, we were just I think 15 people, maybe
Mm-hmm.
12, 9 years ago. Now we reach almost 180 on the mobile
Mm-hmm.
engineers. So
Mm-hmm.
I saw this growth. I saw in other companies also. Uh, it's not easy. And the more you grow, you have a lot of problems. You have build time, pipeline,
Yeah.
design library, especially for Android, the build time is a huge problem. Every year we are trying to reduce it. But the more project is getting bigger, the build time is getting bigger. So we keep ending buying expensive MacBooks with big memory, but which is not a, I mean, permanent solution. We need modularization also. Modularization is a strong solution. So what are the challenges, problems? So first of all, it's not easy to expect the same mindset, same culture, same engineering skills from multiple people. I can give some suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
So my suggestion, first of all, I believe engineering efficiency. So
Okay.
once you are three people, it's very easy to do the code review, right? Because you are just on, you can just call, hey, Cenk, please approve this PR, which I don't like this question. I say, don't ask me to approve, ask me to review. I cannot promise to approve. So you can ask, hello, please review, blah, blah. It's easy. But once you are 100 people in the platform, you
Mm-hmm.
cannot accuse even anyone, right? You can say, okay, I raised the PR, nobody merged. But it is
Mm-hmm.
your responsibility to chase the people to get it merged. There is a lot of examples. How many PRs you are reviewing a day? How many commits you are sending? How much line of code you are doing, which is arguable, right? However, it's a metric. Metric is metric. I am not saying it is the only metric, but it's a metric. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine you have 100 engineers, and one
Mm-hmm.
engineer did only 5 lines of code change in a month, which is possible. It can happen in an enterprise, not in
Yeah.
our company. I mean, it can happen in any company. Once you have hundreds of engineers, what is the problem? There should be a problem here, right? So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean the most line code of change of owner is the best guy. So what I'm saying is, you are the engineering leader. It is your own company. what I could suggest, you need to understand what is the most important metrics for you, for your experience. So based
Mm-hmm.
on that, you can build your own tool, engineering metrics tool, or you can procure. And this is definitely good practice to show engineers, okay, you are being followed by measuring metrics A, B, C, D. As I said, how many PRs you are reviewing in a day, in a month, how many PR you are raising, how many of your PRs getting rejected, how many security issues, bugs, crashes you have caused. All these things can be measured and should be measured.
Mm-hmm.
Then people will say, okay, I'm being measured by these metrics, so I need to be more careful. Uh, it's not only punishment or it's not only about congratulating something, it's both. If I'm showing good performance, you
Mm-hmm.
can uh, congratulate your engineers. But if they are not showing good performance also, you should somehow remind them and do kind of warning. So this is the first thing I would love to mention. Second thing is uh, this is about more about leadership. I
Mm-hmm.
think a leader should have a proper communication with the engineers, right? Uh, I am more like a leader type. Let's say I don't like to transmit the stress from my manager to my engineers
Okay.
because I think that is not a good example because everybody has a responsibility. If I am bringing the stress from my top to bottom, then I don't
Okay.
have much function,
Yeah.
right? That I should absorb the stress. I should not bring unnecessary stress to my engineers. Uh, doesn't mean I'm giving full chill, full joyful moments, but I should balance it. And another skill, another thing we need to do is the empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe I can ask this question to you also. You have a startup, you have experience. What is the most important skill in the life? I think it is. I thought about this answer a lot. I think the most important skill is the communication.
Definitely.
If you are not good in communication, you will have a lot of issues in the life. So all
Yeah.
of us, not only engineers, no matter what you do in the life, I think we should all really focus about our communication skills. This is very important because if you give good energy to the people, if you understand them, you can get really good performance. Then doesn't mean everybody has to love you. Some people will hate you no matter uh,
Yeah.
you have done, but you cannot prevent it. You need to be yourself. You need to be good example. Uh, Once people really believe in you, maybe not 100%. I don't think so. I never seen a company where leader is being loved by all of the people. Of
Yeah.
course, no matter what you do, there is some people who will not appreciate you, which is fine. But at least uh, most of the people you can earn the respect and you can help their performance. I mean, what I personally expect from managers, I need someone I will really fight for it, for her. Okay, this guy is helping me. She's understanding me. She's helping me to grow, understanding my problems. That kind of leadership is very important, especially once teams are growing. What I'm trying to say, life, even the digital products, it's not about only technical. It's about human, right? Now, World Cup is happening.
Yeah.
Don't you think Turkey is a strong team? We are very strong team. But
Yeah.
what happened? We
Yeah.
failed almost no good game at all.
Yeah.
So I think this is about managing. So we should have
Yeah.
a leader where the players, you should see the passion. Players should fight not only for the country, for the leader also. So that
Agree.
kind of leadership, I think, is very important, especially once you grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one really really nice perspective. So I'll try to follow up on everything which you mentioned. So starting from measuring things, like definitely there needs to be some sort of measuring people effectivity in order to improve their improvements, etc. But as you said, like it depends on the organization. So maybe what would be a valid metric for you, since you're a much bigger company than us, won't be a valid metric for us and how our engineering team is performing. So definitely 100% agreed on that. And when you mentioned what is the most important skill in life, communication, I really talk about it a lot with my friends. because like you probably also need to have some difficult conversations on a daily level. Some may be easier, but anyway, the way you communicate that to the rest of your team is really important. So me personally, back in the days, like I was like afraid to make some conversation because of some potential outcome, but only when I put it like communication wise in a good place, that ended up being a really easy conversation for me, which I was avoiding for a year or so. So definitely like communication translates to everything, as you said, personal life, private life, personal life, work life, everything. Communication is super, 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 super important. So yeah, really,
True.
really, really agreed. And you mentioned like that when the team grows, the expectations of shipping things are still remain the same. So what is my question here? And it also correlates with AI really well. So how do you make sure that shipping quickly doesn't compromise on the product quality? Uh, you can talk about your experience, your organization, some other organizations as well. So, but
Mhm,
we live in a space where with AI you can ship something really quickly. So, how do
mhm.
we make sure that it does not compromise the product quality in the end?
Uh, yes, I like talking this thing. For me, measurement is very important key. No matter what job you are doing, measurement is very important. And good engineers, strong leaders, those are the ones who is not scared to be measured.
Mhm,
Uh, what we are building digital products, right? Application, website, whatever. And we are not reinventing the wheel, right? Let's say I'm building a transportation application, which is
mhm,
being used by 10 million. So what are the things that you need to measure? First of all, definitely API status,
mhm,
API performance. You need to measure the API by nice tool. You need to follow the word standards because all my companies, the management is only mobile. They're asking, what is your crash-free rate? Make it 99. Fine. I will make it 99. I will even try to make it 100%.
yeah,
However, why you are only measuring the mobile, right? Today, if you go to the best tech companies, let's say one of them is the I personally love GitLab. Best tech companies, their health status is publicly available, right? If
mhm,
you
yeah,
probably it's GitHub/health something, what
mhm,
you will see the availability, you will see the API performance, you will see the API health. So this mindset should be brought by the real engineering leaders to the company. Maybe you are private company, you cannot publicly expose it, fine. But when uh, you go to the company office, if it is my office, I would love to see what is my API availability and status,
yeah,
right? And when I am receiving the possible loads, let's say Monday is the most busiest day for transportation. Monday, my system should be more stronger than ever. And I
yeah,
need to understand what is the peak hours a day, what is the most busiest hour a day, day of the month, day of the week. So I should get prepared. So
mhm,
as I said, measurement is very important. Once you know what to measure, which is not a big secret, everybody knows what to measure. What matters is, do you really want to be measured? Are you not scared to be measured? And do you really want to build a perfect product? If you want it, start with measurement.
yeah,
And don't be scared. Fine. Let's say you target 90 and you are 70. Fine. As long as you have a mindset to achieve, you will achieve maybe 2 months, maybe 2 years, but you will achieve one day. So
yeah,
your question, uh, measurement
measurement.
is very important, and not only in technical product. When you manage the people, you should measure a lot of things: coding quality, security quality, DevOps metrics, DORA metric. Let's say, okay, my company is excellent, but how long it will take for me to fix a bug and go to the production? It is 5 days. Too long. Why? It's because of my CR activities. It's because of testing, communication. I know a lot of companies, they do automation,
Mhm,
okay, online, backend, mobile, whatever. They do automation, but their automation has a lot of issues. And I have a lot of friends who does manual tests much faster than automations. So then what is the point of automation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's say I am doing automation. I need a MacBook, I need a physical device, I need an environment, and I need to sit with the MacBook and watch the MacBook. But it is automation. Then, excuse me, this is not an automation. This is just
Yeah.
another way of testing. So because automation means the minimum duration, maximum quality, go to the product. So now a lot of tech companies I know, I cannot give name, but they don't have any QA. They just
Oh.
go to production
Better.
from development branch. See, this is not about what tools, what technology you are using. It's about mindset. As long as you know what to measure, as long as you really care about this development product life cycle, you can be very successful. You can write very good test cases, especially now. You can give the user journey from Figma. You can share the video. You can give access to the. Recently, I'm using Maestro. I don't know, have you tried? It's very nice. You can
No.
automate. You can automate your test scenarios very easily. Maestro is basically orchestrating the testing in mobile, iOS, Android on emulators. So that is the mindset. You really need to measure.
Okay.
But if you don't measure, how you can understand you are successful or
Yeah.
not, right? I am giving this example to my managers when they ask me to feature. They are telling me, okay, build this feature, you have 3 days. But I say, let me analyze it. Maybe it is 5 days, but I will give you stable feature. Maybe 10 days, but no bug, no rush, no stress, no crash, nothing. So let's say we are a civil engineer, right? The company is expecting you to build the bridge. But that is what I'm trying to tell my engineers. Our job to build the bridge, not focus about only the money. So let's say they are giving us the money, but we need to tell them, okay, with this money, I can make a bridge. 1 million people can pass the bridge in 1 month safely, and this bridge will last 20 years. That is my job. But if somebody tell me, okay, I give you $5 million, build the bridge. If I don't question and if I tell, okay, I will build the bridge, then this is not a good engineer. So yes, the bigger your question, the bigger teams are getting bigger, product is getting bigger. Of course, there is more rush, stress, a lot of things, but as long as you have a standard which is publicly available on your office, you can build very strong products. We both know, right, what is strong product? WhatsApp, billion people, and how fast it is, how stable it is. Facebook, Instagram. By the way, Tinder has amazing engineering. They have a lot of engineering articles. What else? I mean, there is a lot of excellent products. Uber has very strong engineering articles. Twitter now. So we can follow what they do, how they build, the response time, availability, crashes, and everything.
So yeah,
Yeah.
as you said, like there are a lot of things publicly available. Like you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to figure out what sort of measurement works for you. Is it API uptime? Is it time that, which it takes to get a response from the API? And then you agree on that as a consensus, and then you try to keep it across all of the updates which you're making. You just need to make sure that this measurement stays the same. And I really, it's really interesting for me that idea of having no QAs and shipping directly from develop. But if you have a way to measure or some sort of tracking mechanism of if the changes which you made, which got published from the develop, how they impacted the overall product state, then yeah, well, why not? Why not ship directly from the develop? It's the culture which you need to make. So
Yes.
definitely. And
But it doesn't matter how big you are. I mean, I know your company is not very, very big, hundreds of engineers, but it's good to have some, at least maybe 3, 4 standard metrics. I mean, no matter how big is the product, you can say, okay, my API response time will not pass average. I will give the response in 200 milliseconds, 99.5 availability. so that people will log in. Okay, 98, 97, 96, something. But at least you can define something.
You have
You can
something.
work on it. Yeah. For me, since I'm coming from mobile, crash is very important. So I
Yes.
always try to push people for 99
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crash is really
Yeah.
something we try to enforce on all of our projects as well. Cool, nice. So one final thing which I wanted to touch. We when it comes to the AI, so let's discuss about how AI changed the way of working on a feature during a sprint, etc. So what are the benefits which it brought to our organization, and what are the downsides? One of the downside which I'm seeing, at least, because we worked as team augmentation on different client projects, and on some projects we start noticing, okay, there are a lot of pull requests being generated, but nobody wants to review them because they know that most of the code has been added using some AI coding engines. So I'm curious to hear your perspective about what AI agentic coding brought to the table, and how to kind of tame it and keep it under control.
Yes, we have to talk about AI. But do we have time, or
Yeah,
can I answer shortly?
yeah, you can answer shortly. We still have five more minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Thank you. Because I really wanted to speak about AI in this session.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Before AI, let's quickly understand what happened in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Okay. I have been working almost 16 years in the digital products. What happened? 5 years ago, I have a second phone only for job interviews. I was receiving a lot of job offers.
Yeah.
10 years ago, a lot. Every month, a few serious job offers. 5 years ago, it reduced. After pandemic, my phone didn't
Yeah.
ringing as much. So what happened? First of all, 15 years ago, enterprise, uh, not many company knew that what kind of engineering they need. So they start keep hiring, and there was a lot of money in the world, right? So what happened? Uh, Especially big enterprise, they hired a lot of thousands of engineers. But you can go to space, actually. You can build a rocket with this much of engineers. I think that was an unnecessary hiring with
Mm-hmm.
not a proper interview. And then we have been paid in a good salaries last 10 years. Let's be honest. So which give us the feeling to the engineers, okay, I'm a very important person. But the reality was, I don't think so. The reality was this. The reality is most of the enterprise companies, okay, I'm not talking about real high level tech companies. Most of the enterprise companies hired thousands of engineers with a medium quality. But
Mm-hmm.
if you want to build a good product, most of the time, you don't need excellent engineer. Most of the time, a normal engineer can build maybe, let's say, 80% of the products of the world, right? So that there was, I think, eh, coding, softwaring was overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Salaries, respect,
Yep.
and then especially after pandemic, the economy didn't go well for all the countries, and then the world realized that softwaring engineering is not anymore is very attractive job. Even
Yeah.
if you look at the young generation, my generation, the software engineer was very fancy, getting well paid, but now people they don't want to be software engineers, right?
Yep.
Even before AI. So after AI, what happened? Especially, I'm trying to find correct word. An engineer who is not very well skilled, let's say
Okay.
beginner, medium, advanced, beginner and medium level engineers, now the life for them is not very easy because AI is now much better.
Yeah.
That is the reality. However, if you want to build a complex product, finance, security, a complex game, anything. Okay, I'm not talking a few pages of application or website. Uh, you need to have very strong engineering mindset. You need to have a lot of experience to build a complex product. Otherwise, if you only rely on AI, you will end up in the mess.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
of now, maybe in 2 months, the world will change. I'm talking about today. So AI is growing rapidly. Nobody can catch it. True. But what is happening now with AI? I see a lot of young generation, a lot of engineers who has 3, 5 years experience. They are scared so much, but
Mhm.
I feel opposite. Why you are scared? Because still, imagine you are doing interview, right? You
Okay.
are hiring a guy who is 25 years old, 2, 3 years of experience. Whom you
Mhm.
would hire? I would hire a guy who knows at least 5 different AI tools, design, MCPs, Google Gemini, Codex, Cognition, and a guy who knows how to orchestrate them,
Okay.
a guy who already built a lot of agents. It doesn't necessarily need to be a very strong engineer mindset, but if a guy already built a lot of applications, POCs, that guy is a high potential. So what I'm telling my engineers, don't be scared. Instead, learn the AI, orchestrate them. You manage the AI, not AI manages you. But unfortunately, still a lot of engineers, they are not giving full attention to the AI. Maybe this is normal because maybe people are a little bit scared of losing the jobs. But I feel the opposite. If you focus, if you be the best AI guy, there is a lot of opportunities in the world. And
Yeah.
not still majority of engineers not very well prepared in terms of the AI. Still minority is really good at AI experts. I am also trying to improve more agent, more skills, more tools. What is the difference between multiple tools? So that is what I see with the AI.
Yeah, I also have the same feeling that a lot of people and companies are talking about AI, but I still see a few engineers who tried, for example, 5 different coding agents, as you said, who tried 5 different tools, so 5 different MCPs, sub
Mhm.
agents, skills. So it's something that not a lot of people already tried, and it's definitely something that in the long run will definitely make sense when you're talking to someone and who will you hire. And to follow up on that one, like where I mean, I know it's a difficult prediction, but
Mm.
we had some predictions a couple of years ago that engineers will be extinct by now. So what do you think will happen? Sorry, what do you think will happen in the next for example 5 years? How will the engineering way be much or less different than it is right now? I'm talking about an engineer who today leverages all
Okay.
of the AI
Okay.
workflows. Yeah.
I think a lot of young engineers, not only engineers, a lot of people already start using AI and already start building the products, shipping the products to the Google Play App Store or web product, whatever. So I think uh, a group of people will ship the products and will make the money. Okay, let's say 10%. Uh, a group of engineers, let's say 5%, 10%, will be excellent AI coordinator. Uh, I think those people who will be very successful are the people who are, again, good at communicating, good at product engineering. I
Mm-hmm.
think product engineering is the future. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to understand what people are expecting, what kind of application, game, web product, web page, web tool is needed. And some people will focus that area, will build a very successful B2B, B2C applications with
Mm-hmm.
less engineering skills, or I don't know, if you want to build something very complex, you can also do it. But unfortunately, this is sad. Because of the most of the job will be done by the AI, I think
Mm-hmm.
we will lose important part of generation who wants to be engineer in the past. But I
Mm-hmm.
think we will lose that part of the generation because
Yeah.
imagine you are just 18 or 19. You just joined the university. You studied in Serbia, I believe, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Uh, I studied in Istanbul, Turkey. So I'm imagining myself at 2016. I am just joining the university. I wouldn't. It would be very challenging for me to focus to school because
Yes.
I will look at the around. AI is going everywhere. I can build game application tool crazy, and I would be very happy. There is a from my side personally. I mean, it's not easy for young generation to focus. 4 years you will stay in university. Instead, you can easily build products. I don't
With
tell
AI.
anyone, of course,
Yeah.
don't go to school, don't make things. School is very important. But at the same time, software engineering is a very long career path. Now, people might, there's this possibility they might lose their passion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That will be the bigger problem, I would say, for engineering in general, because if we lose this generation, we would essentially at some point lose people who are like, how can we have senior engineers where we when we don't have junior ones? So there will
yes,
definitely be there will definitely be that gap which we need to close out somehow.
yeah,
Okay, cool. So Cenk, thank you very much for your time again. This was really valuable podcast session, and I believe it will be valuable to all of the audience. So yeah, thank you very much for your time, and yeah, we'll hopefully see each other somewhere later this year on one of your meetups. Thank you very much.
yeah. Thanks, Alexa. It was nice to see you. Wish you best.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye. Bye.